Hello, my name is Jamie and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Unlike any other YouTube channel that showcases Pokemon Go PvP content, mine exclusively showcases Shadow Pokemon. So, if you're into that type of content, I'd appreciate if you could like and subscribe.
So, let's get into today's video. I'm super excited to bring today's video as this is the channel for Shadow Pokemon. Finally, we are bringing Apex Shadow Ho-Oh. A huge thank you to Mikeymorgs who submitted these battles. He's actually using the team that I was going to personally run with Shadow Ho-Oh. So what better way to find out if it's a better team than shoutcasting some battles. The team he's using is Shadow Walrein in the lead with Shadow Apex Ho-Oh obviously on his legacy move of Sacred Fire Plus, and of course the greatest save switch of them all, Shadow Drapion on its nukes moveset of Crunch and Sludge Bomb. No Aqua Tail here. And I'm super excited to bring these battles, so without any further ado, let's get into it. And in game one, it's battle of the Spammon. Walrein versus the stupid bulky Greedent. This is kind of neutral, however Greedent does have the advantage as it generates energy a bit quicker as Bullet Seed is 4.3 EPT whereas Powder Snow is 4 EPT. Added to the fact that Bullet Seed does hit 4 super effective due to Walrein's sub-water typing. The opponent has committed a really early shield, which is a bit puzzling as most people who use Greedent just use it for its bulk. However, we'll take that as Shadow Ho-Oh will absolutely love shield advantage as they've shielded the first one. Mikey is going straight for the hard hitting Earthquake. It lands. However, at this stage, we aren't going to be able to survive a body slam. I imagine we'll let this go, which we are doing, and we're going to look to hopefully come in and load up on energy on the Ho-Oh. We are up shield, so even if they reach 2 moves, we will be able to shield 1 and we'll be loaded full of energy. So we are going to have to tank the first one. We do sneak and incinerate as the opponent did throw at poor timing. Can we incinerate down? Unfortunately, it looks like we cannot, so the Greedent does make one more move. We would survive, but we are choosing to maintain some health. We do manage to commit to the farm down. We're loaded, full of energy. What does the opponent come in with? They come in with the Swampert. We are at now 100 energy. We fire off a Sacred Fire. Does the opponent want to commit their last shield? Yes, they do. So at this stage now, we'll outpace to the Brave Bird. Brave Bird will do huge damage to Swampert. It lands it near one shots. We now make a switch into Drapion. The opponent has thrown early. This is just a Hydro Cannon and Shadow Drapion tanks it like a champ. Once again, this is just a Hydro Cannon. We still will survive, so it looks like Mikey is putting faith in Ho-Oh. Upper shield, cleaning up the end game. The opponent makes a really questionable swap into Deoxys. I really don't think it's going to appreciate this Crunch. Crunch lands. We already got him into the yellow. The Deoxys does farm down, but we still have a shield. So we come in with the Ho-Oh. We sneak and incinerate, so we're going to have to shield this move up. We will outpace to the next charge move. We have now hit the Brave Bird. Brave Bird lands before the Deoxys can get to a second Psycho boost. Brave Bird will absolutely one-shot Deoxys. See you fucking later. And Swampert is about to get resisted farm down by Incinerate. GG's and thanks for playing. Off to a 1-0 start. You can already see from Battle 1, Shadow Brave Bird is absolutely no joke. Almost one-shotting Swampert from full health. Speaking of the GOAT Swampert, we see Swampert in the lead in this matchup. This is really positive for the Walrein. The Walrus is going to fire off neutral Icicle Spheres and Swampert is going to have to land an Earthquake to do any real damage. The opponent is farming up loads of energy. We fire off a second Icicle Sphere. The Swampert still hasn't shielded. It's really, really low. They now switch out into Lapras. Although Swampert has loads of energy, they've done 0 damage to the Walrus, and Lapras doesn't have a positive matchup here either, especially when the opponent is going straight Surf. I'm really puzzled by the opponent's play, but let's see how they manage to play their way out of this one, if they do, for that matter. So they do manage to commit a shield on the Earthquake. They still aren't going to be able to take us out with a Surf, as Walrus does resist Surf due to our water typing. We land an Earthquake. We've got the Lapras now into the yellow. That Swampert is deep in the red, and we have 2 shields. So I'm really puzzled by what the opponent is doing. They fire another Surf. It still doesn't KO. They aren't going to be able to Ice Shard down. So the Lapras now chooses to dump all their energy. The Walrus has put in loads of work. We actually bank an Earthquake and make a switch into Drapion. Once again, this is a Surf. There's no need to shield up at this stage. Mikey is playing really well here, and we're now overfarming. We overfarm a bit too much. I imagine we might choose to shield. We actually don't. We're going to overfarm now to the back-to-back crunches. This crunch will take out the Lapras, and if Swampert does come in, we'll be able to CMP tie him. They do bring in the Swampert. They haven't thrown. They've got loads of energy, so the opponent's going to be forced to shield this up. They do shield, and they switch out once again. So it looks like the opponent must watch the channel. As we all know, Swampert with energy beats absolutely everything. But unfortunately for you, we've got a really hard answer for a grass type in the back with Shadow Ho-Oh. Do we survive a Sludge Bomb? We do tank the Sludge Bomb with no problems. Looks like we are going to fire up a Brave Bird before they make number 2. Brave Bird will absolutely take out Venusaur. It'll probably take out Venusaur from full health, perhaps even a whole flock of Venusaurs. The Swampert has come in. We are going to shield this up. They have 2 moves, but they don't have 3. The opponent realizes that, and they quit the match. So that is really, really puzzling me why the opponent played it like that. But we take that, and we're off to a 2-0 start. I think if I was the opponent, I would have top left as soon as I saw the Ho-Oh, especially as the Walrein had an Icicle Sphere. So all we had to do was save our shield, come in and hit the Icicle Sphere to win the match. But they played it out, which is admirable. Moving on into the next battle, we see the actual GOAT, Shadow Swampert, in the lead. Walrein has a really positive matchup there. They switch out into a Charmer, and we meet the Charmer with Ho-Oh. So we shield the Meteor Mash, and we are going for a Sacred Fire. Sacred Fire doesn't lower our defense, which is advantageous. They let it go. We absolutely nuke the Clefable. Back out comes the Swampert, and we are looking to fire off a Brave Bird. Even though we lower our defense here, Ho-Oh does single resist Mud Shots. They actually don't shield, and they get 1 shot. Holy fucking crap. That was a brave bait call from the opponent. We weren't baiting, and Shadow Brave Bird absolutely 1 shot. And once again, the opponent hasn't shielded. Holy shit. And now we come in with the Walrus, and we resisted Powder Snow down. I'm absolutely lost for words. Holy crap, what the fuck was going on there? Although I was referencing Sacred Fire as a bait, I just meant that we weren't choosing to lower our defense. But either way, I'm still lost for words. Moving on into this next battle. We pick up a lead against a Charm, Alolan Ninetales. This is not great for the Walrus. I think I would have safe switched to Drapion, but Mikey is staying in. We land the Earthquake, which does huge damage. If this is just a Weather Ball, we will survive as it is double resisted. The opponent goes for the correct play and fire the Psyshock. So now we can come in with the Ho-Oh, commit to the farm down. We've now got a little bit of energy for whatever they bring in. The opponent is choosing what to come in with. They now come in with a Nidoqueen. We sneak and Incinerate. This is just going to be a Poison Fang, which we will survive. Ho-Oh does tank that fairly well, and we are now going for the Sacred Fire. Does the opponent respect the damage of Shadow Ho-Oh? Yes, they do. We have not lowered our defense, so we do manage to get to a Brave Bird. Is the opponent going to commit 2 shields? The opponent does not. See you fucking later, Nidoqueen. In the back is a Walrus. Drapion up shield should have no problem cleaning up this match. Just from these first few battles, I really like Mikey's playstyle. When you use Shadow Pokemon, you really have to manage shields well, and Mikey has done that fantastically so far in this video. Unless you really need to shield a move, I always choose not to, and Mikey has gone for the same playstyle. So the opponent lets the first crunch through, which is the correct play, as the next one could do more damage if we lower the defense. At this stage now, we can shield up this next Icicle Sphere, and 1 move will be enough to take out the Walrus. They go for the back-to-back. Drapion is going to survive this Icicle Sphere. You can see we are quite low, but we do make the crunch, and crunch is going to be enough to take this game. Very well played, and GG's to the opponent. So far, I think it's safe to say that Ho-Oh absolutely wrecks absolutely everything. My God, this thing hits hard. Moving into the next battle, the Season of Spice is upon us. The Spice Lord on the other end, the opponent is running Zangoose. Are they going to close combat and dip? Mikey is calling the bait. They actually go straight for the close combat. Holy crap, it near 1-shots the Walrus. Walrus gets of an Icicle Sphere, and they actually switched up into Deoxys. So the opponent is playing really well. However, we have a great Deoxys answer with Shadow Drapion. Deoxys throws a Rock Slide. We tank that no problem, and we should be able to outpace 2 back-to-back crunches to win this mid-game if the opponent chooses not to shield. First crunch does huge damage. We overfarm just a touch. Second crunch will be enough to take out the Deoxys. They let it go. If they come back in, with Zangoose. We are resisting Shadow Claw, so we get to another crunch. Drapion, as always, is going off. Crunch will do huge damage. The opponent chooses to shield up. They are over farming heavily. It looked like we attempted to sack the Walrus. We were unsuccessful, so we do shield up the Night Slash. Do we outpace to the next charge move? Yes, we do. Shadow Drapion hits really hard. Will Crunch take out a Zangoose from this health? It does actually take him out, and in the back they have a Charizard. So we attempt to sack the Walrus. We are unsuccessful. Now it is Battle of the Flyers. We are going to have to get to back-to-back Brave Birds. We are going to choose to shield up this move. It is just the Dragon Claw. We are going to have to survive a move here. Do we survive the Dragon Claw? We're about to find out. They actually go for the Blast Burn, and that absolutely obliterates Ho-Oh. So very well played from the opponent. I really like the way the opponent played that. They went straight for the nuke, and they made a great catch on the Deoxys, and they won that battle. Let's see if Mikey recovers in this next one. We're in the Walrus Mirror match. This is a real bait game. It looks like the opponent wins CMP. We are no shielding. They go straight Earthquake. It lands. It gets us into the yellow. And we also are going straight for an Earthquake of our own. The opponent also no shields. However, we have seen that we've lost CMP. So we will lose CMP on the next Earthquake. However, we lost CMP the first time, so we must have the same attack as we win CMP the second time. The opponent shields up the Earthquake. We sneak a Powder Snow. Are we calling the bait? We do call the bait. Huge call from Mikey. They go for the bait, which does not take us out. At this stage, we could choose to shield, or is Mikey calling another bait? They go for the Earthquake and take us out. We could have shielded and gotten off an Earthquake of our own. However, we are choosing to come in with the Ho-Oh and get ahead in energy. I do really like this play, as we've already seen in this video. Ho-Oh with energy is lethal. Can we farm down? Unfortunately, get to one more Icicle Sphere. It does hit for neutral due to our Fire Flying typing. We tank that. We commit to the farm down. We are at 100 energy. What have they come in with? They come in with a Fire type of their own, as I've seen an Incinerate hit us. We fire off a Sacred Fire. That draws a shield. We outpace to the Brave Bird. Does Brave Bird one-shot a Talonflame? Get fucking wrecked. They survive on 1 HP and a Dream. However, we switch out into Drapion. We are going to call the Flame Charge. Holy crap, Mikey's making some huge calls in this video. That was just a Flame Charge. I've got no idea why the opponent would throw a Flame Charge. You could have just thrown the Brave Bird, but you did not, and we take that. In the back is a Scrafty. They can only throw power-up punches against us. We need to make the second Sludge Bomb. IVs matter, everyone. Drapion on 1 HP and a Dream. Lands the second Sludge. Sludge Bomb does get the Scrafty super low. We sneak and Incinerate. That is going to take out the Scrafty. We shield up the power-up punch, which is unfortunate. And who is going to Incinerate down who? Shadow Ho-Oh is the king of the flying fire types, and we take that battle. Holy crap, that was a huge Flame Charge call by Mikey. Very well played. Moving on into the next battle, we have another Spice Lord. The opponent is leading Kindred versus Walrus. The opponent attempts to make a catch on the Icicle Sphere, and they dip into their own Walrus. We are super far ahead in energy, so we are going to fire off one Earthquake. The opponent shields it up. We get a little bit of lag. The opponent is now an Earthquake. Mikey once again is no shield, and does the opponent throw the Earthquake? Holy crap, these opponents love to bait. It's just an Icicle Sphere. We bank some energy and make a switch into Ho-Oh. The opponent throws at poor timing. We sneak and Incinerate. Icicle Sphere lands. We are now looking to get to the Sacred Fire. However, unfortunately, we do not make it. We have 2 shields. Mikey once again lets it go, and we are going to look to get off this Sacred Fire. Does the opponent want to commit their last shield? Yes, they do. So the opponent is down 2 shields. However, they have got a fairly healthy Walrein. We are now waiting at our switch time, and what does Mikey come back in with? We come back in with the Walrus. We overfarm as the opponent has dumped their energy. We fire off an Earthquake. Earthquake doesn't one-shot the Walrus, which is unfortunate. We are now going to shield up a potential Earthquake. It is the Earthquake. We now look to Powder Snow down. The opponent switches out into a Empoleon. Holy crap, Empoleon is not going to appreciate this Earthquake. Get fucking wrecked. We don't one-shot him. Can we Powder Snow down? Yes, we can. In the back is just that Kindred. I don't really see a win con from the opponent, but it looks like they are going to try anyway. Icicle Sphere hits Kindred for neutral due to water resisting ice, and Dragon taking super effective. This is probably just an Octazooka, however we can shield it up. If we don't get debuffed, we are going to be able to make the second Icicle Sphere. No debuff happens. Icicle Sphere will take out the Kindred, and the greatest save switch of them all, Shadow Drapion, doesn't even see the battlefield. I've actually still got the Walrein in the back, which I forgot about, but we poise this thing down and take that battle. So if you are new to using Shadow Pokemon, you will notice that opponents love to bait, thinking that due to our slight lack of bulk, we'll shield. And Mikey has some big cojones and we've pulled some massive baits. Moving on into the next battle, we see Jellicent in the lead. Jellicent is pretty problematic for this team as it beats Walrein and it beats Ho-Oh. They correctly shield up an Earthquake, which isn't great for us. Shadow Ball doesn't one-shot a Shadow Walrein. It does quite a lot of damage and they'll probably outpace us to the next Shadow Ball. So is Mikey just going to completely sack the Walrus? Yes, he is. They actually go for a Bubble Beam, which is a bit questionable as it does allow us to get to an Earthquake. They actually CMP ties with a Bubble Beam. Hopefully we do survive, which we do. So this is a 2-stage debuffed Earthquake, but it is going to do a nice bit of chip damage. Earthquake lands, gets the Jellicent into the yellow. It looks like we are just sacking it. And as we've seen both their moves, we can now come in with Drapion and load up on energy. We are resisting Hex, so I imagine that we are going to fire them up to at least back-to-back crunches before we fire off. These Bubble Beams do absolutely fuck all, and the Jellicent is going to spam the shit out of us. Even 2-stage debuffed, 1 crunch should be more than enough to take care of the super annoying jellyfish. Here comes the crunch. See you fucking later, Jelly. What do you have in the back? In the back is a Registeel. We immediately switch out into Ho-Oh to get an energy lead, and they have yet another XL Pokemon. So this player is a real basic motherfucker. This Deoxys is not going to appreciate the Sacred Fire. Do they shield up? No, they do not. That lands, does huge damage. I believe the play now from here is to double shield as Rock Slide does hit for double super effective and leave with a load of energy. Deoxys gets to one more move. They are now deep into the red, so we shield up successfully the second Rock Slide, and Ho-Oh is absolutely loaded full of energy. Back out is going to come the Registeel. We are baiting with a Brave Bird. Does the opponent have big balls and call the bait? No, they don't. We are now going to farm up. We switch out with the Sacred Fire. We switch into Drapion to do some chip damage. Ho-Oh absolutely wins CMP against Registeel, so any chip damage is going to help out. The opponent is going to try and build up to as much energy as possible, but they are absolutely fucked as the Tin Can cannot hold back-to-back moves. This move, they're going to have to undercharge, but they're going to be upset when they lose CMP. Zap Cannon is a nice undercharge from the opponent. However, in comes Ho-Oh and Sacred Fire is absolutely going to melt this stupid Tin Can. Get wrecked and GG's. Mikey once again pulling off a very impressive dub. Triple Shadows absolutely wrecking the Triple XL team. You love to see it. Moving on into the next battle, we pick up an absolute dream lead. The Walrus into Giratina. You love to see it. They switch out into Cresselia. Are they on Grass Knot? Yes, they are. Grass Knot does hit for big super effective damage. Mikey banks 100 energy and switches out into Drapion. Drapion has a really positive matchup against both Cresselia and Giratina. Back before stuff like Registeel become back dominant in the meta, Drapion was such a sleeper pick because it absolutely hammers the shit out of Shadow Claw, Giratina and Cresselia. Cresselia can hit back for neutral with Moonblast, but these crunches come really quickly. We outpace the Cresselia and they hit for huge super effective damage. So if the opponent does not shield, we will take them out with this crunch, and despite us being on very minimal health, we wouldn't even get Psycho cut down. The opponent realises they was not going to be able to fight the switch and they come in with a Walrus. And you already know it's time for Ho-Oh. The opponent throws it really poor timing. We sneak and Incinerate, which is absolutely beautiful. A 3-5 turn move. You love to see it. This second Icicle Sphere will draw a shield from us, and I imagine the opponent is going to try and make a catch onto the Giratina. Here comes the Giratina. They are building up some energy, and we come back into the Walrus, which is loaded. First Icicle Sphere grabs the shield. Second Icicle Sphere should do big damage or draw the second shield. They're now at 6 Shadow Claws. Are they going to fire an Ancient Power? Mikey is calling that it's just a Dragon Claw. Holy fucking smokes, it is the fucking Ancient Power. It lands, gets us down to 1 HP and a dream. But the Walrus once again gets to another move. We draw the last shield, come back in with 100 energy. This Brave Bird is going to obliterate the Giratina. See you fucking later. And we've got 1 shield and the Ho-Oh left for the Walrus. We're going straight for the neutral Sacred Fire Plus and Night Night Sleep Tight Walrus. GG's and thanks for playing. My god, the Shadow Ho-Oh hit hard. Holy fucking crap. That Walrus got absolutely obliterated, and Sacred Fire Plus only hits for neutral. You love to see it. Walrus is so bulky, but it really didn't look like it in that last matchup where it got absolutely obliterated back to its Pokeball. So we are now moving on into the final battle of the video. Huge thanks to Mikey for this submission. I've been lost for words a few times. I cannot believe how hard this Ho-Oh hits, but I've absolutely loved it. Getting into the final battle, we pick up a great lead. Mandibuzz really doesn't like to see Walrus, and they switch out into a Suicune. Suicune really doesn't have a good matchup against Walrus because all its moves are going to be resisted. They typically run Ice Beam, Hydro Pump, but this motherfucker is one of these really annoying players that runs Bubble Beam. We switch out with a load of energy and we switch into Drapion. Drapion is resisting Snarls because of its dark typing, and Suicune doesn't even get stabbed as it definitely is not a dark type, it's a mono water type. So we are going to fire off some crunches. This crunch will do big damage even after the debuff. We get the Suicune into the yellow. So the next one is going to be threatening the knockout. Will the opponent choose to shield? Yes, they do. As they've shielded up, I imagine they are going to throw a Hydro Pump. Mikey's big cojones once again are not shielding. Hydro Pump lands. I highly doubt they're going to be able to snarl us down. We get to one more crunch. Is this crunch going to be enough to KO? Crunch lands. The Suicune does survive with 1 HP and a dream, and in the back is Blissey. So now it's become apparent why they're spamming out Bubble Beams. This opponent is running the super annoying timeout strategy. So essentially when you're running the timeout strategy, what the opponent is trying to do is keep all 3 Pokemon alive and win that way, which is super boring. However, we have 3 Shadow Pokemon, so are they going to be able to pull it off? We're about to find out. Mikey's going straight for this Sacred Fire. It lands on Blissey. Blissey is super bulky, but it gets absolutely wrecked by the Sacred Fire. We aren't pissing around here. Mikey's going straight for another Sacred Fire. Does the opponent wish to use their second shield? Yes, they do. So they are definitely trying to keep all 3 Pokemon alive. Mikey chooses to shield up the Psychic. Can we farm down? We really need to get rid of one of these Pokemon. We're looking for the farm down. The opponent once again makes a switch. We have a loaded Walrus, so this Mandibuzz is about to start getting obliterated. We might actually ironically win with 3 Pokemon alive, which would be very funny because this motherfucker is using the most annoying strategy in the world. Walrein is absolutely unloading on this Mandibuzz. They haven't even got to a charge move yet, and they've got absolutely wrecked. They try and bring in the 1 HP Suicune. That gets deleted as well. And Mr. Timeout strategy, you need to go back and think of a better strategy because you just got absolutely wrecked by a triple Shadow team. And ironically, we were the team left standing with 3 Pokemon. So huge thank you once again to Mikey for this submission. I've had so much fun shoutcasting these Ho-Oh battles. I've actually had 2 other sets with Shadow Ho-Oh. Ho-Oh, not Ho-Ho. It's not Merry Christmas time just yet. Ho-Oh, which I will be bringing to the channel at some stage over the weekend. I've also had some Shadow Pinsir battles, which I'm super hyped to bring. So I'd just like to say thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.